morning. Happy Friday. Thank y'all for being patient with me while I'm still setting up. I got a new lamp, a new camera thing, kind of, sort of. And it's not really working out the way I kind of, sort of hope. So I'm probably going to have to do without it today. But it has been a while since I've gone live or we've seen each other. Today, I haven't really done a live in quite a while. I took an opportunity to go on vacation and just really sit back and really have this opportunity. Like I say a lot, it is very easy to be pouring into others and then concerned constantly about what's going on with other people, especially when you're a therapist or a life coach. You're constantly always working with people to help them achieve their best self. But it's just so hypocritical if I'm not doing that same level of work for myself. So I had an opportunity to get away, destinations unknown, but just really check in with me. Because honestly, I've been through a lot in the last 2 or 3 years, really the last 7 years. I never have given myself permission to really feel the things that I was feeling or the things that I was going through. I kind of sort of was that person that just, you deal with it, you make decisions in the moment, and you kind of sort of move on from it. And that led to me not really feeling the best version of myself. So I just used this as an opportunity to do that. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I took that moment out to just really check in with Tracy, get centered with Tracy. And I know for a lot of people that might sound fluffy, or it might sound like, oh, that's a waste of energy and time. Or it sounds cute. Oh, that's so cute that, you were able to go and check in with yourself. Let me tell you something. If y'all looked around in society today, there are so many hurt and broken people in the world. There's so many people that are looking out and they're engaging in drugs and alcohol and making bad decisions because they're trying to mask that pain. So before you say, oh, checking in with yourself, or, oh, trying to really find out how to really get in touch with yourself sounds fluffy and unnecessary. Good morning, Renee. One day it's going to stop raining long enough for us to go and have, before the summer's up, Renee, I'm going to work with you on it. But I really want to go live from my porch time with Renee because our conversation is amazing. She's amazing. So yes, happy Friday to you, Renee. And so, as I mentioned, today is kind of sort of like a freestyle Friday. And really what I wanted to do was share some of the lessons that I learned, or that I learned while I was on my vacation, on my self-love trip. And so these are the notes. I journaled every day. Sometimes I found myself having to tape myself because I was writing and I couldn't get my thoughts out of my feelings fast enough. But these are I call it finding and reclaiming my emotional self-care. And here's the 10 things that I learned on my self-love trip and how to stop giving power to people and reclaim my peace. Number 1, establish healthy boundaries. I found that I was constantly adjusting my boundaries to accommodate other people. And then I was struggling to find a safe space within me because my boundaries were not enforced consistently. No is a complete sentence. So when I really had time, when I was journaling about this, is I realized that I was allowing other people, my boundaries kept adjusting. Like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to have this conversation. I didn't want to be in this situation. This is not what I wanted. But, and I'll get into this later. Oh, but Tracy, you're a therapist. You're a coach. You should allow people. No, that's not my boundary. That's not my wheelhouse. And so one of the things that you will see, well, it's not even about what you'll see, and I'll get into that too. One of the things that I am really committed to doing is really establishing and maintaining my boundaries. I'm going to keep my peace. No is a complete sentence. And if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If I don't want to engage in it, I'm not going to engage in it. Number 2, take responsibility for your emotions. Other people can say things to hurt and disappoint you, but ultimately it's on me on how I deal and act with them. So people can say things that will hurt my feelings, and people will, because they do, and people will say things that are disrespectful because they have, but ultimately it's on me. It's what they do. And I meant to say this earlier. You may hear me say some curse words through here, and if I apologize, but the cursing has a point. I don't shit what other people eat. So when you say things to me, that's you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And so ultimately, I'm responsible for my own emotions. I'm responsible for what I do. And so you can say things, but how I choose to respond and how I act to it is on me. So I'm responsible for taking care of my emotions. I'm in charge of making sure that Tracy is healthy, and you're responsible for making sure that you're healthy. Your emotional self-care and well-being cannot be trusted in the hands of someone else. And here's why I say that, because ultimately it's yours. You know what your soul needs. You know what you need to, how you're going to be guided. You know that. So if you're waiting or you've placed that responsibility on somebody else, take your power back. You are responsible for your emotions, not somebody else. Which leads to number 3. Let other people be responsible for their emotions. I had let people be flat out disrespectful and have open space to vent their feelings and tell me what they think about me or about a situation. I had allowed that disrespect to continue because I wanted to take the high road, or because I was a therapist and now a health life coach. I should understand. I should have the vocabulary, the words to put into what people really feeling and make excuses. That's bullshit. Your lack of boundaries or self-care is not my problem. I was allowing my own peace to be disturbed because other people didn't have any. So when someone doesn't have peace or boundaries in their life, they're going to try to come into yours because they see that you have peace. They see that you have boundaries. And so now here they come, and they want to come into your space, and they want to absorb, take responsibility in, grab onto your peace. People are responsible for their emotions. Just like I'm responsible for mine, you're responsible for yours. I am not responsible. I am not your emotional caretaker. I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful tribe of sisters and brothers who love me, who respect me and honor and have their own boundaries because they're doing their own work. We'll get into that too. But you are not responsible for other people's emotions. They are. So let them have theirs and do not take responsibility for other people's mess. Number 4, acknowledge your choices. This can be a hard balance because it can often lead to endless assault on yourself, that negative self-talk. So when I say acknowledge your choices, you can say that was not a good choice. But then there's that tendency to get into it and you're beating yourself up because I made this choice, and it just leads to this negative self-talk. But there's a balance. And this is where a therapist or a life coach can help you navigate through it, because you are not your mistakes, nor are you your past. That thing happened. You can acknowledge that choice. It's not always bad choices. It's good choices too. Acknowledge when you did right. Acknowledge when you looked out for yourself. Acknowledge when you said, you know what? Other people did this, but I decided to do this, and this is what was best for me. Acknowledge those choices, bad and good. You are not your past or your bad decisions, because you're much more than that. And you're a sum of those good choices too. So celebrate the good. Number 5, live according to your values. If it's not for you, that's cool. And if it's your thing, that's cool too. You're the only one who knows what truly makes you happy. Stop trying to live up to or trying to convert others to a value system. I follow a young man. He's, I don't want to misspeak. He's a man, but he dresses as a woman, but he also dresses as a man. And I find him to be very entertaining. I try to stay out of the comment sections because I do believe people get on there. I've read a couple of comments and people get in there and they judge him. But I'm like, well, if you don't like him, then why are you following him? I mean, just if someone's engaging in behaviors or doing things you don't like, there's always this option to just swipe left or swipe right. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to. If someone's not living up to your value system or they're not respecting your value system, don't fool with them. It's your values. If it's something that's important to you and that's a value system to you, then you maintain that. And before people say, well, you're supposed to try to tell people to lead right, what I've learned through almost 60 years of living is people have an internal voice in them that lets them know that this is a path for them and what's right for them. And if they're in touch with that and they're living, then they're living their authentic self. It's when you don't listen to that voice. It's when you adapt other people's values that you say that you feel out of touch with yourself. So live according to your values. What's important to you? Stop trying to live up to other people's values. Stop trying to live like the Joneses. Their car was declined at Walmart. Stop trying to be like other people or trying to convert other people to see your way. Do you. Live you. And then also too, by living and by your values, you persuade or lead more people to you. Nobody's gonna hire me as a health life coach if I'm not sticking to the values and the principles that I believe in. If I'm telling you one thing and I'm doing the opposite, nobody's gonna want to hire me. No one's going to want to watch these shows. No one's going to want to participate in the groups and the activities I have on if I'm not living according to my own values. Live according to your own values. If you want people to bond with you around those values, live your own. Live your own. Number 6, forgive others and yourself. Move forward. Hindsight is always 20/20. I should have done this. I should have said that. I should have stayed away from this situation, that person. But you didn't. Stop beating yourself up. You made the choices that you made in that moment and where you were then. Growth and forgiveness allows you to move past that thing, person, and let it go. Stop allowing your past to define your present. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm not the same Tracy I was 4 years ago. I'm not the same Tracy I was before I lost both my parents. I'm not the same Tracy I was 6 months ago. But that doesn't change, and I'm allowed to have a past. I'm allowed to have a past. I'm allowed to have past mistakes. But that doesn't define who I am today. So the hardest thing for me, what has been a growth area for me is self-forgiveness. Because I'm hard on myself. And I would constantly be beating myself up for things that I did. But one of the things that really came from that trip was I let all that stuff go. I made mistakes. That was my past. But I made peace with it. I made peace with my past. I made peace with my past mistakes. And I accept and embrace everything that I am right now today. That does not define me. I'm Tracy. I'm way more than the mistakes that I've made. And I also forgave others who had hurt me, who had said things to me and even people who made fun of me. I forgive y'all. Because that lack of forgiveness was only going to eat me up. So, number 6, forgive others and yourself and move on. You can't change your past, so learn from it. Understand that you have a past, but that doesn't define who you are. You're more than that. Number 7, here's a huge one. Stop trying to prove people wrong, especially about yourself. Whew. That is a total energy drain. Because people are going to think about you whatever they want to think about you. And so get in touch with you. Know you. Embrace you. All of it. Because when you're trying to, because there's this thing where you're trying to prove people wrong. Dude, listen, I can't prove you wrong. That's a double negative. I'm going to try to prove you wrong. It doesn't make sense. The only person you need to try to prove anything to is yourself. Can I rise above this situation? Am I going to take the lessons from it? Am I going to move forward? Am I going to become a better person because of this situation first thing? Am I going to allow this grief to overcome me? Or am I going to make peace with it? Am I going to make peace with God or my higher power? I am going to stop trying to prove to people that I'm worthy of their love, that I'm worthy of their attention, that I'm worthy. Because my self-worth doesn't come from them, because again, the word is self-worth. My self-worth comes from me. And a lot of times, often, when we're trying to prove to other people who we really are, we're trying to prove to them that we're worthy of a relationship or we're worthy of this job, then we lose sight of who we are. You're enough just the way you are. So stop trying to prove people wrong. And they're going to think about you what they want to anyway. You'll have more peace that way. Number 8, keep things to yourself. Everybody ain't got to know everything. There are some things, plans, prayers that need to stay between you and God or your higher power. As long as those things are not rooted in shame, it's good to keep some things close to your vest. Move in silence. So I'm one of those persons that's I've always, because of my own lack of knowing who I was, I always bounced things off of other people. I wanted to know what other people thought. While that has value, to be able to have somebody that you can bounce things off of and share ideas and kind of sort of get, because that's where collaboration and things come from. That's a great thing. But oftentimes I was talked out of situations, or I changed my plans completely because I talked to people who had a vision for what they wanted, but that wasn't in tune with what I wanted. And then I ended up going off in a direction that didn't make sense because that really wasn't what I wanted to do anyway. So I learned through this time by myself that some things I just need to keep to myself. I just need to keep it close to the vest. It's between me and God. It's not for discussion for other people. And again, as long as it's not rooted in shame, because you're like, I'm too ashamed to tell somebody what happened. You got to work on that shame. You can still not tell somebody what happened, but you don't want to walk around with shame. You never want those things to be trauma-based. Don't keep stuff to yourself because you're afraid or you're ashamed. You keep it to yourself because that's something that you're working on between you and God. And maybe that struggle you're having, you're going to release it that way. But it's okay to keep some things close to the vest. Number 9, laugh sometime, especially at yourself. Everything ain't that damn serious all the time. Learn to laugh. Find the joy in the small things. Watch a comedy show. Watch some funny videos on TikTok. And learn to just smile. I'm one of the funniest people I know. I continuously crack myself up. My friends laugh at me. People who know me know I can just sit around the house and just do something silly. And I'll laugh at myself because I think I'm pretty funny. But that comes from a place of comfort with myself and understanding everything ain't got to be that serious all the time. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to have joy in your heart. Sometimes you can laugh at even the most serious of situations. Crack a joke every now and then. It's okay. My friends will tell you, I crack some jokes at the most inappropriate times. Something, but it's just laugh, smile. Your cheeks need to grow. Your teeth need to move. Laugh sometimes. Smile. It's okay. Smile. And number 10, healing is a journey, not a destination. Just as you think, I've reached this point, another situation may arise, and you think, damn, how much more? Life is so much more, so then your situations will be more. You will have moments of total joy, but you'll also have moments of total sadness. But if you stay the path of healing and become the best and most authentic version of yourself, healed, you won't drown when the waves come. You'll learn how to tread the waters. Because life will life. And what I really came to peace with is that on my self-love journey is that the healing is the journey. The process is the journey. Just when you think I've gotten over this, another thing of life will come. But if you can learn how to navigate through life's challenges, if you can learn how to tread the water when the waves come, you won't feel like you're drowning. If you can learn how to laugh and dance and sing in the rain when other people, when it just seems like, why is she still happy? Why is she? Because she's found that peace that passes all understanding. Because she understands, or he understands, that this situation doesn't define me. This may have happened to me, but that's not who I am. And I can find joy in all situations. So here's some strategies, because we're getting close to the end. Here's some strategies that may help you begin to practice your own emotional self-care. Number 1, practice gratitude. Every day, write down 5 things that you're grateful for in a gratitude journal. Because gratitude can definitely improve your mental health and well-being. When you're focused on the positive, that's when you begin to experience growth. Surround yourself with positivity. The people around you can influence your mindset. So try to spend time with people who have a growth mindset. Their positive outlook can inspire you to see the world through a lens of possibility and generosity, because you truly are the sum of the 5 people that you interact the most. Who are they? Cultivate an abundant mindset. This mindset means that you believe that there's always more to be had and the possibility for improvement. You can try replacing that scarcity-driven mindset with positive affirmations that promote abundance. And that's just not about money. That's about love, peace, joy, whatever. Because abundance is more than just money. You can have all the money in the world and don't have no peace. I'd rather have abundance of peace and the money will come than have abundance of money with no peace. Exercise. Just a few minutes of exercise can increase your energy levels, improve your mood, reduce anxiety, stress, and depression. We've spoken about this before, that exercises work on the neurons and connections in the brain. So when you're exercising, it gives you that feeling. So again, exercise 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 15 minutes a day. Move your body. Appreciate your special qualities. Remind yourself of your good points every day. And you can often write a list and refer to it. So then when those negative self-thoughts come and that negative energy comes, you can remind yourself of your good points. I'm a good person. I really am. I'm a good person with a good heart. I try to help everybody I can. I stand before you oftentimes just as naked as I can be. Not literally, because that would scare some of y'all. But I try to stand emotionally vulnerable. Not because I want anything from you, because I want people to see that there's a freedom that comes from just letting it go and being vulnerable to your emotions. Let them flow through you and not become you. Next one, find a mentor. Find a coach or a mentor who can help you shift your perspective and also change your mindset. And lastly, leave your comfort zone. Try new things. I think everybody at some point should embrace having a self-love trip. Take a trip by yourself. That was the most amazing thing ever. I'm not afraid to travel by myself, but just having that experience of trying something new, stepping out of your comfort zone will be key. It is 7:30. I'm getting ready to come to a close. I want to thank y'all for letting me have this Freestyle Friday with y'all. I hope that the lessons that I learned while I was on my trip can be beneficial to you. If you're interested, I have got a new group that I'm starting. It's just going to be for the month of June and July around this book, Emotional Self-Care for Black Women. Now, again, I have a lot of men and women of different races and colors who follow me. And I know there's some who say, well, what about the emotional well-being for white women or Asian women or Hispanic women? I'm a Black woman. I make no apologies about that. And oftentimes I can't speak to what others, I can speak to generalized pain, but there are certain things that as a Black woman, the level of shame and oftentimes the mask of we have to be the strong ones and we're not allowed to be vulnerable is unique to us. And so if you're interested in participating, send me a message, let me know, and I'll invite you to the group chat. Again, it's just going to be for the month of June and July. We're going to go through this book. We're going to practice. And it's also, I just want to say, a very safe place for people to be able to express themselves. We need to always create these safe and sacred places where people can feel free to speak with their mind and get that support that they need. So if you're interested, let me know. And my 2 love notes, give them before I go. My first love note goes to, well, both these people are the real ones. They are the real ones. My first love note goes to Kelvin Jones. He knows that I appreciate him. And he's definitely a real one in my life. And he knows it. That's my dude. So love note to you. And my second love note goes to my cousin, Sepra Pratt. She's a real one too. I love you, Sepra. Okay. Those are my 2 love notes. And today's reading is from my all-time favorite book, Blooming Bear, my all-time favorite author, Morgan Richard Oliver. And today's poem is Let It Go. You've held on to it long enough. The pain, the sadness, and the hindsight. You replay your downfall like a broken record and keep the words of those who hurt you on repeat. It's not the journey that's beyond difficult. The problem is you're holding on to the heartbreak, hurt, humiliation, instead of the help, hope, and the healing. As hard as it may be, you have to release. Latch on to forgiveness, understanding, and truth. Let go of the regret, hindsight, and the hurt that is weighing you down. Blooming Bear, Morgan Richard Oliver. And I want to thank y'all for joining me today. I hope that this information is beneficial. I hope that the life lessons that I've shared with you today, the things that I came from my journey, you find helpful. If you have your own, please jump in the chat. Let me know. Also, if you have things that you want to talk about, topics, situations, circumstances, please. Oh, and I'm going to check my inbox. I realize my inbox is full. So please be patient with me. I'm going to get back to everybody. I may do another Freestyle Friday sometime soon. I hope everybody has a great Friday, a safe weekend. Know that you are loved and valued and appreciated. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.